Please turn to page 27, and we'll start by reciting the 7-limb prayer. Page 27. Gosum pegone chatselo neshami tu cheti malubu tomene saditun tam cheshak kepagewanam lajeiram korwa matam bardule june drola cheki kolokowadam da jengenam janchu chempongo. Turn to page 97. And we'll recite the short mandala offering at the bottom of the page. Saji perki jushing metok tamri rablishi niteken padi sangye jingdu mikte muwa yidro kunamda jingla cheparchok jetsun lama dampa kyenam hichu kukala kense chujintri jita tsampe duje sima lajab gecheki charpawabdusa idam guratamadalagam niryatayami. Chudan soki chonam la janchu bardu dani kapsuchi dagi chunyengi pesunam gi dola penchu sangye drupasha. Chudan soki chonam la janchu bardu dani kapsuchi dagi chunyengi pesunam gi dola penchu sangye drupasha. Chudan soki chonam la janchu bardu dani kapsuchi dagi chunyengi pesunam gi dola penchu sangye drupasha.
니데시 와존나 구제니 제니 셰르제 관yan다 로라 편바체 나나지 니제 지데 도 자바고 간다야다 데베도 나나바고데 나도 두조모 니데 전조서면도 자산제진데 hin달로 자자로 관계 된제데 보죠 가보 메보 제메보 저보 메보다 메보 오와 메보도 메보다 데데메데 많이 저시데 조배사제 만남제 담바데 런존즈로 관계 투세 예존데 따와던제 뭐베제 담배춘데 된저바 고담데 런존즈로 Welcome back. Welcome back to emptiness class. Now sitting well, quite well. Maybe next few minutes we'll do Vajrasthana practice, short Vajrasthana practice. So one that's good. I'll guide with the guided meditation. So rangi chiwo, pema dawe things, rangi chiwo. On your crown, rangi chiwo che, pema rangi chiwo, pema. On top of your crown, please visualize a beautiful lotus. A form of light, okay, a form of light, beautiful lotus. On top of the lotus, then visualize mundis. On the top of mundis, then visualize white hum. Then awake?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, now I'm going to sleep. Let's go. Maybe again, all over again now. Not all over again, so maybe do it again. Even you get, glimpse of visualization, even some idea. So that's how this visualization is not going to be perfect one, unless we have shamatha. Other than that, it's not going to be perfect one. But get some ideas, some idea or maybe some glimpse of visualization. Okay. Rangi Chiyo. So on the top of your crown, a beautiful lotus, form of light. On top of that, they then visualize mundis, something like white circle, okay, white circle, mundis. So on the top of the mundis, then visualize letter Hum, bright, shining, white color. So the center of that Hum. So then that Hum, eventually that Hum transform into white Vajra. So then the center of the Vajra also visualize letter Hum, shining bright white color. Okay. So then that Vajra transform into Buddha Vajra Sadhavas. Solitary one or like with concert that you decide, okay? Solitary one or with concert. Mm. Adorned with beautiful cloth. Mm. Adorned with all the ornaments. Then sitting in the Vajra cross leg, holding Vajra and bell. Vajra on right hand, bell on left hand. So then light radiates from Buddha Vajrasattva heart, light radiate or goes out or emitted, light emitted, attracts all the enlightened and Bodhisattva's blessings. Draw all the blessings. So then purify all the negative karmas, purify all the negative karmas through like water like cleansing rituals, okay, through water, or you could technically you could say bath offerings, but you know that water cleansing rituals purifies all the negative karmas. And visualize that you receive the blessing. So now the center is like center of the heart, Buddha Vajrasattva heart. 100 syllable mantra in clockwise, standing clockwise, surrounded that letter Hum that we had already visualized. Then light radiate from mantras and the mala that you're going to use. Then light radiate from there. So then light, that light radiated from the mantra and the rosary, the mala that you're going to use, that light emitted or radiate. And observe all the blessings from all the enlightened beings. Observe the light, observe all the blessings. Absorb into the mantra and the mala. So then from there, nectar flows from the mantra and the rosaries. Through your crown chakra, purify all the physical sicknesses, mental difficulties, means like all the disturbing thought, purify all the disturbing thought, all the physical problems, completely purify. So then with that mindset, so we will recite Buddha mantra 21 times altogether. And meanwhile, while you're reciting the mantra, if you can maintain the visualizations, nectar continuously flowing through the rosary and the mantras, through your crown chakra, purify all the, like defilement, all the physical problems, and then all the, disturbing thought, completely purify, okay? Purify. So now we decide the mantra.
Yeah. It's in the Gold Prayer Book, page 64. And we'll start with the verse of praise at the top of the page.
21 times, okay, 21 times.
Page 64.
If you are not familiar with the long one, probably most of you are familiar. If you are not familiar with the longer one, then you can just say the short one, Om Benza Satava Hum. You can just say that, Om Benza Satava Hum. Or you can just listen. Even hearing a mantra purifies too. But I think it's good to learn.
Merely thinking of just your name eradicates all obstacles and immediately purifies all negative karma. Thus to you, unsurpassed Vajrasattva, I make prostration. Om Benza Sato Samaya Manupalaya Benza Sato Tenopa Tishta Dido Mebawa Suto Kayo Mebawa Supo Kayo Mebawa Anurakto Mebawa Sarasidi Meprayacha Sara Karma Sutsame Chitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Benza Mame Mocha Benza Pawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahum Pe Om Benza Sato Samaya Manupalaya Benza Sato Tenopa Tishta Dido Mebawa Suto Kayo Mebawa Supo Kayo Mebawa Anurakto Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Meprayacha Sarva Karma Sutsame Chitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Benza Mame Moja Benza Pawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahum Pe Om Benza Sato Samaya Manupalaya Benza Sato Tenopa Tishta Dido Mebawa Suto Kayo Mebawa Supo Kayo Mebawa Anurakto Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Meprayacha Sarva Karma Sutsame Chitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Benza Mame Mosa Benza Pawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahum Pe Om Benza Sato Samaya Manupalaya Benza Sato Tenopa Tishta Dido Mebawa Suto Kayo Mebawa Supo Kayo Mebawa Anurakto me bhava sarva siddhi me prayach sarva karma sutsame chitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata benza mame mudra benza bhava mahasamaya sato ahum pe om benza sato samaya manupala Sato tenopa tishta dido me bhava Suto kayo me bhava Supo kayo me bhava Anurakto me bhava Sarva siddhi me prayach Sarva karma sutsame Chitam shriyam kuruhum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan sarva tathagat Benza mame mucha benza bhava mahasamaya Sato ahum pe om Benza sato samaya Manupalaya Benza sato tenopa tishta dido me bhava Suto kayo me bhava Supo kayo me bhava Anurakto me bhava Sarva siddhi me prayacha Sarva karma sutsame Chitam shriyam kuruhum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan sarva tathagat Benza mame musa benza bhava mahasamaya Sato ahum pe om benza sato samaya manupalaya benza sato tenopa tishta dido me bhava Suto kayo me bhava Supo kayo me bhava Anurakto me bhava Sarva siddhi me prayacha Sarva karma sutsame Chitam shriyam kuruhum Aha ha ha ho Bhagavan sarva tathagata Benza mame mucha benza bhava mahasama Sato ahum pe om benza sato samaya manupalaya benza sato tenopa tishta dido me bhava Suto kayo me bhava Supo kayo me bhava Anurakto me bhava Sarva siddhi me prayach Sarva karma sutsame Chitam shriyam kuruhum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan sarva tathagata Benza mame musa benza bhava mahasamaya Sato ahum pe om benza sato samaya manupalaya benza sato tenopa tishta dido me bhava Suto kayo me bhava Supo kayo me bhava Anurakto me bhava Sarva siddhi me prayacha Sarva karma sutsame Chitam shriyam kuruhum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan sarva tathagat Benza mame mucha benza bhava mahasamaya Sato ahum pe om benza sato samaya manupalaya benza sato tenopa tishta dido me bhava Suto kayo me bhava Supo kayo me bhava Anurakto me bhava Sarva siddhi me prayacha Sarva karma sutsame Chitam shriyam kuruhum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan sarva tathagat Benza mame musa benza bhava mahasamaya Sato ahum pe om benza sato samaya manupalaya benza sato tenopa tishta dido me bhava Suto kayo me bhava Supo kayo me bhava Anurakto me bhava Sarva siddhi me prayacha Sarva karma sutsame Chitam shriyam kuruhum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan sarva tathagat Benza mame mucha benza bhava mahasamaya Sato ahum pe om benza sato samaya manupalaya benza sato tenopa tishta dido me bhava Suto kayo me bhava Supo kayo me bhava Anurakto me bhava Sarva siddhi me prayacha Sarva karma sutsame Chitam shriyam kuruhum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan sarva tathagata Benza mame mucha benza bhava mahasamaya Sato ahum pe om benza sato samaya manupalaya benza sato tenopa tishta dido me bhava Suto kayo me bhava Supo kayo me bhava
Anurakta me bhava sarva siddhi me
prayacha
sarva
sarva
karma
karma
sutsa
sutsa
me
me
citam
chitam
shriyam
shriyam
kuru.
kuruhum
Ha
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 ho
ho
bhagavana
bhagavana
sarva
sarva
tada.
tatakat
Benza
benza
mame
mame
moza
mocha
benza
benza bawa
mama
mahasamaya
samaya
sato
zado a.
akum pe
Om
om
benza
benza sato
sato samaya
samaya
mane
manupalaya
balaya benza
benza
sato
sato
tena ba
tenopa
teda
tishta
tudu.
dido me bawa
Suto
suto
kaya
kayom
me
ne
bawa
bawa
subo
supo
kaya
kayom
me
ne
bawa.
bawa
Anuradha
Anurakto
me
me bawa
bawa
sarva
sarva
siddhi
siddhi
me
me bhava
prayacha
sarva
sarva
karma
karma
sutsa me
sutsamne
citam
chitam
shriyam
shriyam
kuru.
kuruhum
Ha ha
aha
ha
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 ho
ho bhagavana
bhagavana
sarva
sarva tada.
tatakat
Benza
benza
mame
mame
moza
mocha
benza
benza bawa
mama
mahasamaya
samaya
sato
zado
ahum
a pe
pe om
om.
benza sato samaya
Mane
manupalaya
balaya
benza
benza
sato
sadati
teno
namba
pa
teta
tishta
tuda
didom ne
neba.
bawa
Suto
suto
kaya
kayom ne
neba,
bawa
subo
supo
kaya
kayom ne
neba.
bawa
Anuradha
Anurakto
me
me
bawa
bawa
sarva
sarva
siddhi
siddhi
me
me
ba.
prayach
Sarva
sarva
karma
karma
sutsa me
sutsamne
citam
chitam
shriya
shriyam
kuru.
kuruhum
Ha
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 ho
ho bhagavan
bhagavana
sarva
sarva tada.
tatakata
Benza
denza
mame
mame
moza
muncha
benza
pensa bawa
mama
mahasamaya
samaya zado
sato akum
a pe
pe om
om.
benza sato samaya
Mane
manupalaya
balaya
benza
benza
sato
sadati namba
tenopa
teta
tishta
tuda
didam ne
neba.
bawa
Suta
suto
kaya
kayom ne
neba,
bawa
subo
supo
kaya
kayom ne
neba.
bawa
Anuradha
Anurakto
me
me bawa
bawa
sarva
sarva
siddhi
siddhi
me
me ba.
prayach
Sarva
sarva
karma
karma
sutsa me
sutsamne
citam
chitam
shriya
shriyam
kuru.
kuruhum
Ha
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 ha ha
ha
ho
ha
bhagavana
bhagavana
sarva
sarva tada.
tatakat
Benza
benza
mame
mame
moza
muncha
benza
pensa bawa
mama
mahasamaya
samaya zado
sato
a.
ahum
Pe
pe
om
om
benza
benza sato
sada tada.
samaya
Mane
manupalaya
balaya benza
benza sato
sadati namba
tenopa
teta
tishta
tuda.
didom neba
Suta
Suto
kaya
kayom ne bawa,
neba, subo
supo
kaya
kayom ne
neba.
bawa,
Anuradha
anurakto me
me
bawa,
bawa
sarva
sarva siddhi
siddhi me
neba.
prayacha,
Sarva
sarva
karma
karma
sutsa me
sutsamne,
citam
chitam
shriya
shriyam
kuru.
kuruhum, ha
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 ha ho,
ha
bhagavana
bhagavana
sarva
sarva tada.
tatakat,
Benza
benza mame
mame
mocha
moza benza
benza bawa
mama
mahasamaya,
samaya
sato
zado a.
ahum pe
Om
om, benza
benza
sato
sada
samaya,
samaya mane
manupalaya,
balaya
benza
benza
sato
sadati namba
tenopa,
teta
tishta
tuda.
didom ne bawa, Suto
Suba kaya
kayom ne bawa,
neba,
supo
subo kaya
kayom ne
neba.
bawa,
Anuradha
anurakto
me
me bawa,
bawa
sarva
sarva
siddhi
siddhi
me prayach, sarva karma
sutsa me
sutsamne, chitam
citamashri
shriyam kuruhum.
akuru. Ha
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 ha ha
ha
ho
ho
bhagavan
bhagavana
sarva
sarva.
tata kata benza
Benza mame
mame
maza
munsa
benza
benza bawa
mama
mahasamaya
maya
sato ahum
zado pe
pe om
om.
benza sato samaya
Mane
manupalaya
balaya
benza
benza
sato
sadati
tenopa
namba teta
tishta
tuda
dido me
neba.
bawa
Suda
suto
kaya
kayom ne
neba,
bawa
subo
supo
kaya
kayom ne
neba.
bawa
Anuradha
anurakto
me
me
bawa
bawa
sarva
sarva
siddhi
siddhi me
neba.
prayach
Sarva
sarva
karma
kamna
sutsa me
sutsamne chitam
citamashri
shriyam
akuru.
kuruhum
Ha
ha ha
ha
ha
ha
ha ho
ho
bhagavana
bhagavana
sarva
sarva tada.
tatak
Benza mame
Mame
maza
muncha
benza
pensa bawa
mama
mahasamaya
samaya
sato
zado a.
akum
Pe
pe
om
om benza
benza
sato
sada samaya
samaya
mane.
manupalaya benza
Benza
sato
sadati
tenopa
namba teta
tishta
tuda
dido me
neba.
bawa
Suda
suto
kaya
kayom me
neba,
bawa
subo
supo
kaya
kayom me
neba.
bawa
Anuradha
anurakto me
me
bawa
bawa
sarva
sarva siddhi
siddhi me
neba.
prayach
Sarva karma
Karma
sutsa me
tsutsame chitam
citamashri
shriyam
akuru.
kuruhum
Ha
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 ha ha
ha
ha
ha
ho
ho
bhagavana
bhagavana
sarva
sarva.
tata kata
Benza
benza
mame
mame
maza
mucha
benza
benza bawa
mama
mahasamaya
maya zado
sato
ahum
akum
pe
pe om
om.
benza sato samaya
Mane
manupalaya
balaya
benza
benza
sato
sadati
tenopa
namba
tishta
teta tuda
dido me
neba.
bawa suto
Sada kaya
kayom ne
neba,
bawa supo
subo kaya
kayom ne
neba.
bawa Anurakto
Anuradha
me
me
bawa
bawa
sarva
sarva siddhi
siddhi me
neba.
prayacha sarva
Sarva
kamna
karma sutsa me
tsutsame chitam
citamashri
shriyam
akuru.
kuruhum
Ha
ha ha
ha
ha ha
ha
ho bhagavan
bhagavana sarva.
sarva tathagata benza
Benza
mame
mame
mucha
maza
benza
benza
bawa mahasamaya sato ahum.
Now please deep down from your heart. We are requesting Buddha Vajrasadavas, please pay attention to us. Negative, all of these bad feelings that created through body, spirit, mind. Since from beginning this time, what you call negative karma, Dagi tometune sabe digs. Purify all of them right now. So then visualize, think deep down from your heart that Buddha was just otherwise. Accept your request happily, delightfully accept your request in all the negative karmas. From Bodhisattva's mind, from beginning this time, purify all of them right now. Then Buddha Vajrasattva accept delightfully accept your request. Then Buddha Vajrasattva dissolve from through your crown chakra and remain in your heart till you reach fully enlightenment. Okay? Then of course, if you have initiation, you can become Buddha Vajrasattva. If you already received the initiation. So then still that bright, shining light is still there in the central heart of the Buddha Vajrasattva. So then goes out, reach to each and every single living beings, purify all their negative karma, since from beginning this time, completely purifies. And help them to achieve achieve full enlightenment. Okay? To go help them to achieve or obtain Buddhahood. Or you could also, another visualization, you could also visualize deep down from your heart the Buddha Vajrasattva calling your name, "Oh my child," and all the negative karma that karma associated with the body, spirit, mind, completely purify. You can also visualize something like that. It's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much. So that's how you clean your mind. So when you feel dirty, so we take shower. We know how to clean our body. We know when things get dirty, we clean them because we like to see something clean. So that's how you clean your mind. Yeah, so as I said, as long as we are not liberated, there are things goes intentionally, unintentionally. We say things, we think about things, we do things, then sometimes, intentionally hurt someone, maybe. Not every word that comes out of our mouth is all gentle. That's the fact. So every thought that pops up is not something wonderful. That's the fact. The physical actions, every physical action that we did, in my case, last almost 50 years, is not, especially when you are teenager. When you're a teenager, so that includes myself. It's not, like all kinds of actions, intention. Sometimes you do because your friends are doing that, that you just do because influence of your friends. You may not have intentions, then try to fit into your friends' circle, then you do things. Same in the monastery, same thing. So then what you do, you regret, instead of feel guilty, you regret them. So just regret, strong regret itself, also believe or not, purifies. Otherwise, what do you do? What do you do? So when the clothes get dirty, we wash them because we like to wear clean clothes. When the mind gets dirty, what do? There has to be some way to clean. So that's the Buddhist way of cleaning your mind. As I said, that we don't have to drown, we don't have to get drowned with our wrongdoing. if you get drowned with your wrongdoing, then your wrongdoing is like you make it like piece of, it's almost like your wrongdoing is like almost like piece of aluminiums. Then you throw in the water, it will sink. It will sink. But there's a way that the same amount of aluminum doesn't have to be sink. You can make it flat and throw. It will not sink. It will flow. So that means person who know how to clean their minds, so they don't go down with their wrongdoing. So they learn how to purify, how to clean their mind. There's people who don't know how to clean their mind, so probably know that they then. Yeah, so then rely on like substance or no, so then all kind of things, it makes you kind of like numb, or maybe, I'm not sure, like what it does. Temporarily it does you something, so then when the power of that is over, same thing, it's like not much change, same thing. Then how often you are going to do that is not good for the body, so better to learn something, something you can clean through your mind. You can just clean through your mind. And so when we do, so then, that needs to be very sincere and genuine as possible, as possible. So that's how you clean your mind. That's how you, that's how you bathe your mind. That's how you bathe your mind. That's how you bathe. So, merely just forget about reciting mantra, merely remembering Buddha Vajrasattva names purifies. If that's the case, so then reciting mantra definitely purify. There has to have way to purify. Otherwise, then there's no hope. There's no hope. Then that means your action. Then you are not able to separate yourself and your action. You think it's one. So then there's not hope. You did something wrong, then you are wrong. Then you think, you think, oh, I'm bad because I did something bad. I'm bad. According to Buddhism, that you are not bad. You have Buddha natures. You have potentials to become enlightened. It's like diamond hidden underneath dirt. You can't see. Doesn't mean you can't say there's no diamond. There is diamond, but you can't say that because no diamond you can see. The Buddha nature is like that. It's now all like many different layers of thoughts. It's kind of like covered that you can't really, how to say, shine. So there's the importance to learn. So otherwise, how to there's the meaning of bath offering. That's what it does, the bath offering. So same like that. Okay, so wonderful. So, and I myself try to do, so the much as possible every day, much as possible. So of course every day there's something to feel bad about. So what you do, you purify them right away not with blind faith that you have to develop conviction faith based on your own experience that develop through doing practice, not just learning them, doing practice. Then if you experience something in the practice, if you experience something good, so then that's good. So that then based on that, so then the conviction faith needs to grow. It's not like blindly believing something. That's not good. Okay. Yeah. So there's that. So then today I did not bring my book. So Donas, you want to say something? So kind of like today is kind of like review. It's like the last class of the last perfection of wisdom, out of 6 perfections. So I've been teaching that almost now a few months. At some point needs to be end. So then I ask you to suggest whatever the next topic that you want to learn. So Dramasi said that she received some suggestion here. So we are going to vote. We are going to vote. Then based on the majority of the vote, we decide what topic, next topic will be. So the first one is called renunciations. That's a part of the Lamrim teachings. Then like 3 types of moralities. There's a second suggestions. And mind trainings. There's the third suggestions. Death meditations.
And the dissolution.
Death meditation and the dissolutions of the elements. So there's like whole separate text. There's not just topic. There's whole separate textbook, separate teaching. So 8 verses of mind training. So there's another short text. That's very, very short text. Come abiding. That's not really text. That's also topic.
And Geshe, also there was a suggestion to just go back and start working through the Lamrim.
So in that case, then every Wednesday, Lamrim, 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 Lamrim. So then that's what's going to be Lamrim. That's one word, because it has like close to 300 page. So it's not just 2 or 3 page. So you will vote. So before you vote, if there's anything to review or discussions, what I explained about the professions, or maybe questions. Yeah. Yeah, Q&A. So then easy question. Please.
I'll try my best.
No, just joking, just joking.
Okay, so on the death meditation, I'm not sure what the person who offered this was thinking, but I'm wondering if this is a death meditation that we would do so that we become more familiar, as you've said, more familiar with the process of dying, or could it also be a meditation that we can do when someone in our community is dying? Because it seems like that would be something that would be really good for us to learn, because that's going to happen to people who are sitting here tonight, to all of us. And I would really like to learn a meditation to do while someone is dying. Does that make sense to anybody? Well, I'm just happy with the meditation.
Actual dissolution happens for everybody. It's not whether you believe or not believe. It happens because element has to dissolve. There's 4 elements. This body is made out of 4 elements. That element needs to dissolve. All these senses will dissolve. So that's the dissolution. That actually happened to everybody who died. No, all animals. No, everybody who dies. But temporary benefit, I think you can tell if somebody's dying, if you are close by. So you can tell by looking at that person's physical appearances. That you can kind of guess how soon that person is going to die. You can guess if there's something you need to say or recite or whatever you need to do. So it'll give you some clue rather than no clue, some clue. Then, whether you will be able to recognize what's actually happening when you are dying, that is very much depend on after you're learning all the dissolution process. Then kind of like, it's not really actually happening, but it's like when you go to bed, when you go to sleep, it's kind of like, it's like similar. So you can practice that, like you could say sleeping yoga, you could, imitate, now, kind of like dying, then you can just, if you remember by heart, otherwise, If you need to hold your books, then you can't sleep. So if you remember by heart, then if you can think, so that's probably one way to make familiar. So then the idea of that practice is when actually it happens, then you are able to recognize, oh, now that's what's happening. You are kind of aware, rather than, oh, like house is falling on me. Actually, the house is not really falling on you. That means earth element is dissolving. It's not like something's falling on you, or maybe you are falling down on something. Then, if you're able to recognize, so then, then you're aware what's happening. So then you probably know what to do now. So what to think, what kind of practice that maybe I should focus on bodhicitta, maybe I should focus on compassion, not to be fear or afraid. So there's the idea, there's the whole idea to able to recognize when it actually happens, able to recognize. So then if you, on top of that, if you have some knowledge about, what is shunyata or emptiness, so then at the end, as I said, some point after the end of the very dissolution process, some point at the very end, then you just, it's like space. You experience what we call like mother light, clear light. There's two of them, clear light. There's like mother light, mother clear light, and child clear light, according to Vajrayana practice. So mother clear light, that's some that every being experiences, not based on mere meditations, that naturally that's a part of the process. So then if you have some idea about emptiness, or like a mind is like space, no shape, no color is like space, so then if you've been doing some kind of meditation on emptiness, so that's like child light. The knowledge or realization of emptiness is like actually like child light. So then when it actually happens, then you introduce mother and child, you introduce to them, so then probably instantaneously could be liberated. Liberated, could be liberated. Because then, that's what happens. Here, probably don't, but there, like after death, people remain there like 18 days. There's no smells coming out of body. It looks like just sleeping there, It happens, it happened. And I witnessed, some of, there's a number of my teachers, so when they pass away, so you go there, the smells, it's like almost like perfume. You smell it like perfume. So that happened to Emily Panther. When she passed away, the people enter the room, the smells like perfume. So that, that happened to Emily. So one of our member. So, yeah. See, like, so then you are able to introduce when actually you are experiencing the mother light, and you already know that you are already familiar with the child light because you have been meditating on that. Actually, it's emptiness. So then you introduce to them, so then you recognize, so then they remain there, what some people like near-death experience, people who have near-death experience because of the light into the tunnels. Then maybe like, not exactly like, but it's like clear sky that, like clear sky at night, clear sky with a bright moon, like that kind of experience. Nothing. There's no color, there's no shape. It's like clear sky, like very bright light, like moonlight, like that. So what's called atom sky, something like that. So then this is the idea, behind this dissolution practice. So then, as I said, temporary benefit, you can tell if somebody's dying, you can tell, start looking at the body and the mouth, like then, then you can tell which stage is that person going through. Then then at some point that person cannot hear. Some point the person cannot hear. So then there's a way to, the way to help people. If you want to say something, recite a mantra, whatever. Okay. Then what else?
How can we unite those drops without training?
Mm?
How can we unite those drops without training? How can we unite the mother and child realization without training ahead of time?
Yeah, so that's why you need to learn. First need to learn, and then practice. Yeah, first need to learn.
But nobody has taught us that.
Maybe when my teacher comes, probably he will teach.
It would be very wonderful because we're going to die pretty soon.
Hard to say. Nobody knows. Nobody knows whether we wake up tomorrow morning or not. Nobody knows. Nobody has clue. But everybody thinks that we are going to live a long time. Hard to say. You can't say die sooner or die later. Can't say. Hard to say.
What does it mean to unite your mind with the Lama's mind in Dharmakaya? What is really Dharmakaya? When the Lama dies and his mind unites with Dharmakaya, then how does the student unite his mind with the Lama's mind?
How does a student unite his mind with Lama's mind?
In Dharmakaya.
Maybe when my teacher comes, we'll ask. Okay, when my teacher comes. Maybe hopefully next year he'll come, we'll ask.
Thank
okay.
you.
Yeah. Then what else?
I just wanted to mention, you were talking about the death and dying. They did a class in Discovering Buddhism on death.
Oh, very good.
And Amy Miller, was it a year and a half or 2 years ago, came and did a class on that. And Kandala did a follow-up class, and all of that is recorded.
Oh, very good.
And so
I'm off the hook. That's great news.
I did have a real quick question. Unfortunately, I missed last week's class, and you guys were recording it, and I remember I was actually watching, and you said, "Oh, don't bother, nobody's watching." So I was, but unfortunately, at home there's distractions. Could you possibly explain one more time the visualization, like as Vajrasattva, or is it the moon disc, and just?
Oh, you can, whatever suits your mind. You can visualize space before you. You can visualize the distance when you do full length portrait, maybe like 6 feet.
To be here?
6 feet, 6 feet.
Okay.
Then above the height is like this level. If you're sitting down,
Okay.
not too high, not too low. No. So you can, if you are not comfortable visualizing here, you could visualize there, space before you, 6 feet, something like that. But I think nobody measures. Don't worry. Nobody measures. So I'm not planning to measure. Then height is like what you call third eye, that level you can visualize. Yeah, so like lotus, lotus which symbolizes renunciations, pure thought. Utilizing things without attachments, utilizing whatever you have, utilizing this body, this life, or possessions, or whatever, with the awareness of impermanence. Awareness of impermanence, so that kind of detach you from things. So there's a renunciation is like balance it kind of balance our life. Otherwise, we become so uptight with something, then that create problems. So balance, so so you can visualize lotus, then top of that moon disk, which symbolize bodhicitta, moon disk. So then top of that you can visualize letter Hum, if you are familiar with Ahum, letter Hum. So next time what I will do, so now, that's not my time, next time maybe I'll ask Chris or maybe another person, who's Brian, one of them, or maybe David, so I will bring the image. I'll bring the image, then, what is this called? Project there, then you have some visual image, what it looks like, so maybe that may help to know. Like in monastery, we are very much, our education system is very much based on vocal, not much visual in here in West, so you need some kind of PowerPoint. So, so maybe I will then give you some ideas, what to visualize, So that's I think it's good. It's just very good to learn, So the Vajrasana practice is very good to learn. That's exactly how you clean your mind, So is it harming your physical body? Is it harming your life? So it's very good to learn. So then, at the end of the practice, if you feel good, so then based on that experience, then eventually you develop conviction, faith towards Vajrasana practice. So then, very good. So then you learn how to bath your mind. Then next time, let's go. Next time I'll show. Then you get better idea. Okay, but much better. Yeah. So that probably takes some time because I have in book, but unfortunately, probably that book needs to be somebody needs to take photo, or maybe I need to. I need to. I need to destroy the book page by page. Yeah. So,
I was the person who mentioned the death meditation, and my idea was from Lamrim meditations. And I've gone through the Discovering Buddhism, but with Steep, and I can listen back to that and the one you said, and I've looked at His Holiness's book that he goes through it, and I would like to hear it again, and so I could maybe develop a habit of doing it, because I seem to not have it flowing well at all. So that was my intention.
So you remember Richard Porter, our friend, one of our friends, now he's gone 3 years ago. True, huh? 3 years. So he comes to see me, we meet quite often. So I've been telling him that needs to find something to summarize your practice. Like maybe I suggest him to find some stanzas from Guide to Buddhist Way of Life. Or that your whole practice then kind of summarized there. So now, therefore, like the daily practice is important. Your daily practice is very important, So then, with very little effort, you will remember that time of death. You will remember that. Otherwise, trying to remind something brand new, time of death, probably is very hard. It's probably if you have been doing something in your day-to-day life, so then that time, if you remind something, it's very easy to remember. So therefore, I suggest him, of course, Buddhism is very deep. When you look at all these books, there's like 330-something books, then there's so much to learn. You can't remember all of that by memory, but you could summarize, maybe say, okay, bodhicitta, or I will summarize all my practice in bodhicitta, think about bodhicitta, summarize, or maybe something that you can remember, Or, if you are, my point is it'll be much, much easier to remember something that you've been very familiar. Rather, you are probably not familiar, then try to remind something, then it's very difficult. So it's better now, instead of worrying about death in the future, but nobody knows, But day-to-day life, thinking something wonderful, thinking something positive, based on teachings or based on meditations. So that's with clear mind, positive mind. If we die, that's the best. Whether we are able to recognize all the dissolution process while it's actually happening or not, that's not discouraging you, but that's kind of hard practice to do. But you can learn and make it familiar now on every day. Just imitate, just imitate. That's happening, go through them. Actually it's not happening, but it should just imitate. If it's happening, then you go through. Then you become familiar. Then eventually you don't need a book. You remember all of them by heart. Maybe there is possibilities.
Planting seeds for the future.
Yeah, planting seeds for planting. But the most important thing is think something, some kind of positive thought, whether there's impermanent, you can't hold on forever, because we are mortal. We are not immortal. We are mortal. That's good. We are mortal. That's probably good. We're not immortal. At some point, so life will end. So that we need to expect that, accept that, can't deny. So then, that's the whole idea. So, yeah, so maybe after the vote, we'll see where people vote. No, yeah. You want to ask something? Yeah.
No, talking about the Vajrasava practice, you have the 100 syllables.
100 syllable mantra.
Yeah, I think you said the visualization is very important, but how was the meaning of the words?
Mantra?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will explain.
Usually it's a very, very powerful words, associate meaning behind each of those words, right?
Yeah, I will explain the mantra. But, benefit is not whether you understand the meaning of the mantra or not. Benefit is not based on that, So that's very much as the mantra itself is very powerful. No matter who said, whether you know the meaning or not. So then, you do it. It is for purification. It will purify because it's for purification practice. It purifies. So, but yeah, I will explain the meaning of the mantra, and maybe with the visualization next time, we show something. Not to rush. I think this is important. So maybe show image, meditate. Then mantra also, there's 100 syllables. If I explain one day, probably then probably we make not able to put it together. Maybe word by word. Then I will explain. Yeah. Yeah, very good. Any other, or maybe time to vote? Yeah. I mean, not on you could have question from the topic, not on this based on this, the emptiness. Yeah.
I know I wasn't here for the teaching this time, but I want to ask you about these points. Geshe, I was studying in Zen training monastery in Japan for 2 years before I went to India. The only woman, the first woman. And because of that extensive training in meditation, after that, when I went to India, then I heard the teaching of the Buddha, because my teachers in Japan did not speak English. So it wasn't until India that I heard the teaching in English, really outside of a book. So it seemed to me, from my experience, that unless you have calm abiding, you cannot understand the secret meaning of all these other points, because they don't open up in you They are just intellectual until
when like
you have karma abiding.
knowledge, you don't need karma abiding
It
for
seems
knowledge.
like karma abiding to me it seems like the
Actualize,
foundation
actualize.
for everything.
Actualize the path. Actualize the path.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like having karma abiding is much better, but knowledge, you could learn. People could learn that all of that without having karma abiding. People could learn.
You could go either way.
Mm.
You could go from karma abiding into it, or you could go from each one of those points into it.
Yeah, you can learn. You can learn. It does not
So
require.
either way, intellectually or
Intellectual knowledge does not require karma abiding realizations. But having a karma abiding realization will help to to success into practice.
Yes. Okay. I just wonder how to put in order. Thank you.
Okay. Maybe time to vote. Huh?
Okay.
No. Any question about emptiness? Any question about emptiness? No? Oh yeah. So that means everybody now realize emptiness. That's good. That's good news. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe time to vote then.
So if you're listening online, if you would send me an email about your preferences, and here we'll just take a show of hands. How many people would like to work their way through the...
Majority. I'm not going to decide. SPC decide.
Okay, we'll just trust you. How about you vote on your top three, and I'll read through the options again, and you can think about them. And whichever gets the most votes. So we have working through the Lamrim from the beginning, renunciation, the 3 types of morality, mind training.
3 types of morality, that will probably one class, just one class.
Okay. Mind training.
That probably few class.
Death meditation and...
There's like probably 1,000 class.
8 verses of mind training.
Few class, yeah.
And karma abiding.
Few class, yeah.
Okay, so... All right. So how many vote for going through the Lamrim text methodically? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, that's now exciting. That's good now. That's what we should do next time. To vote.
And for renunciation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. The 3 types of morality? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mind training? 1, 2. Oops, I thought that was a vote. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Here's one.
Okay, that's 12. You can vote on 3. Yeah. Yeah. And if you're behind somebody and you can't see me, get your hand up there, or you'll lose your vote. And we just got gerrymandering knocked down, so use your vote. Okay, death meditation. Oh, popular one. Were you up before? Yes. Okay, 14. I think we know what's popular. 8 verses of mind training.
Anybody raising hand in the online? Nobody.
They'll have to, if you're online, please do email me and we'll add your vote and announce the results. I guess you'll find vote in the comments online, and I will ask Aaron who brought it up. Okay. Apparently, thank you, Joey. I was giving instructions to people online and had the microphone turned off.
We got one vote from online. It says, "I vote for anything the group wants."
Okay.
That's from Tom. I want to say thanks, Tom.
Go Tom.
Okay.
Okay, so other people, if you're online, you can vote in the comments.
Yeah, there's
And
other people watching besides me.
okay, and then last in the room here is calm abiding. How many? Only one hand at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So, did anybody not vote? Well, that's up. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, the big winners were death meditation with 14 votes and calm abiding with 12. Lamrim got 5, renunciation 7, 3 types of morality 6, mind training 12, 8 verses of mind training 8. Oh, mind training also got 12 votes. So. Sorry?
One was the cat.
Oh yeah, that's right. The cat voted.
She needs it.
But we could start with one and then just keep going down the list, right, Geshe Gelek?
So there are
So.
three. There's three that are the top.
So then we could each vote once.
There are three that are the highest.
Yeah. So the 3 top vote getters are death meditation, mind training, and calm abiding.
Yeah, so now it looks like next Wednesday.
Aaron Edwards voted for mind training and death.
Go Karen.
She's with the crowd.
Then we can do another vote for the top 3.
Right. Yeah, take the top 3 and then vote on that.
Looks like we're all pretty much on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Crowd line going on.
What do you think we need, Geshe?
Yeah.
Huh?
What is the best?
Diplomacy decide. Diplomacy or democracy decide, or democracy.
Well, I heard suggestions that we do a runoff among the top 3. So. That's very dharmocratic. That's pretty funny. And so I think for this one it's 1 vote. Okay, so the 3 choices are mind training, death meditation, and calm abiding. So let's start with mind training. $10 for mind training. Death meditation. I gotta start again. $10 for mind training. For death meditation, sorry.
All right, we have one more
And,
for mind training.
mind training is now at 11, okay. And calm abiding. 4 votes for calm abiding. So it looks like mind training is the top vote getter. Guess.
Oh yeah, well, then maybe
Well, I think you could
I like that
combine
our
all
online
3 of them,
community
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could combine these.
Very modern of you.
no, my biggest concern for me or for all my friends, how we can summarize our something to remember, can't remember everything, that you learn. That's very hard. Something simple that you can remember, that you can do review it, that you can go through something, in that case, 8 verses mind training, there's only 8 verses to remember. So then there's 7-point mind training test, that's much longer. So there's also Peacock in the prison grove. Peacock. Peacock in the prison grove, that's one. Then the ray of sunlight, so that's also very good, or we can start with one that I've been thinking to teach maybe at Sunday. So now maybe Sunday we're trying to collect more questions. It's kind of a little bit complicated because there are so many people comes. Then I'm not sure. It's hard, So which topic to talk, it's every Sunday it's kind of a struggle, So many new people come, so many all kinds of people come. I'm not sure how much they know about Buddha's teachings, so that makes kind of complicated. So that's why I usually hoping that people will put a lot of questions here. So then, based on the question, maybe I can figure it out what people. Otherwise, based on one text, so I'm not sure. So anyway, maybe in a few Sundays we're going to collect questions. Maybe I'll start with one with Lama Tsongkhapa wrote one this mind training text. So maybe I never taught that at the Kadampa Center. So maybe I'll start with that short one. Okay, I'll start with that. 7 points is already taught. 8 verses is already taught. Then Peacock in the present poison grove, that's been already taught. So because so then only one that left is like the ray of sunlight. Ray of sunlight. There's also another one. So actually, there's 100 texts on mind training. There's 100 texts, whole book. Some of them are short, some of them are kind of long. So so maybe I'll start with Lama Tsongkhapa one. The Lama Tsongkhapa wrote. I'll start with that, and then that's short text. Okay, so then maybe please keep in your mind something that you don't need a book. Something you can remember by heart. Something short. 8 verses, thought transformations, so easy to memorize. It's not that difficult. Easy to memorize. You can have that as then if you remember by heart, you can do review meditation, you can do analytical meditation, you can do single point meditation. If you have, so then no need to worry to carry around. It's already here. So then if you do that, daily basis, and time of death, easy to remember. There's something to think about now, okay? Yeah, so no problem. Maybe we decide mind training. Lama Tsongkhapa. So I'm not sure that's translated in English. I'm probably not translated in English, but you can type. So while I explain with my broken English, so then maybe you can have good translations. My broken English with your perfect English, so maybe something will come out.
Okay,
I was in Madison when Geshe Gelek taught a peacock in the poison grove,
Mm.
and people liked it very, very much.
Mm.
So I think it would be very successful here
Mm.
if you wanted to teach that.
Yeah. I start with Lama Tsongkhapa first, okay.
Turn to page 198 of the Gold Prayer Book, and we'll chant the praises to the 21 Taras to remove obstacles to the Light of the Path retreat, as advised by Lama Zopa Rinpoche. From your sublime abode at the Potala, O Tara born from green letter tongue, your crown adorneth Amitabha. Action mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times, Tara, please come with your tenants. The gods and demigods bow to your lotus feet, O Tara. You who rescue all who are destitute, to you, Mother Tara, I pay homage. Oh, my prostrate to the noble, transcendent liberator. Homage
Homage
towers swift heroic, eyesight lightning instantaneous, sprung from melting stamens of the lotus, dear roots from lotus. Homage she whose face combines 100 autumn moons at fullest, blazing with vibrations resplendent as 1,000 star collection. Homage golden blue and lotus, waterborn and hand adorned, giving effort, calm austerities, patience, meditation, her sphere. Homage crown of Tathagatas, actions triumph without limit. Relied on my conqueror's children, having reached every perfection. Homage filling with Tutade, whom desire direction and space, trampling with their feet the 7 worlds, able to jump forth all beings. Homage worshipped by the all Lord, Shakyamuni Buddhia. Honored by the host of spirits, corpses, Kadampas, Yakshas, homage with her tre and pay sound, destroying false magic diagrams, her free pressing left out right, placing in a raging fireplace, homage to the very dreadful, destroyer of Mara's champions, she was founding lotus visage, who was slayer of all enemies, homage at the heart her fingers, adorned her with fleeture mucha, my brain mass is all excited, all directions feel so adorned. But she's so joyous, radiant, crowning, minting garlands of light, mirthful laughing with Tutade, subjugating Mara's Davis, homage she able to summon all earth guardians assembly, shaking, frowning with her home sign, saving from every misfortune, homage crown adorned with crescent, moon on ornaments were shining, Amitabha in her hair knot, sending out with light eternal, homage she with wreath ablaze, eon ending fire abiding, flippant joy surround you, troops of enemies destroying. Homage she who strikes the ground with her palm and with her foot beats it, scowling with the letter whom the 7 levels she just conquered. Homage happy virtuous peaceful, she who feels peace or not. She endowed with golden soul, destroyer of the great evil. Homage she with joy surrounded, tearing foes' bodies asunder. Praises whom the knowledge mantra, arrangement of the 10 letters. Homage to David seed letter, of the shape of syllable. 5 foot something shakes his 3 wills, Meru Mandara and Vind. Homage holding in her hand the Hermit moon of Divalek, with spice broken Tara and Pei, totally dispelling poison. Homage she whom gods and their kings and the Kinnaras do honor, armored in our joyful splendor, she dispels dreams and conflicts. Homage she whose 2 eyes bright, radiance of sun and full, with spice Hara and Tutare, she dispels the fear contagion. Homage full of liberation, power by the set of 3 natures, the spirits Yakshas, erase corpus superior. These praises with the root mantras and prostrations of Sar 21. Now turn to page 190 for the prayer of the benefits. Whoever is endowed with devotion for the goddess and recites it with supreme faith, remembering at dawn upon waking and in the evenings, will be granted all fearlessness, will perfectly pacify all negativities, and will eliminate all unfortunate migrations. The multitudes of conquerors will quickly grant initiation. Thus endowed with this greatness, one will eventually reach the state of Buddha. If affected by the most terrible poison, whether ingested, drunk, or from a living being, just by remembering will one be thoroughly cleansed. If this prayer is recited 2, 3, or 7 times, will pacify all the sufferings of torments caused by spirits, fevers, and poisons, and by other beings as well. If you wish for a child, you will get a child. If you wish for wealth, you will receive wealth. All your wishes will be fulfilled, and all obstacles pacified. Let's turn to page 235 for the general dedication prayers. Malupa Dei Sala Gurpa Shok Jan Shu Sencho Rinpoche Ma Ke Panam Ke Gyuchi Ke Wanyampa Me Payang Gone Gondu Pawa Sho Jampe Power Jita Kempada Kudu Zampo Deyam Deshinte Deda Kungi Jesu Da Lochu Gewa Dida Tanche Rab Tung Hom Dusun Shepe Gewa Tanche Ki Ngoa Gala Chotunga Pade Dashe Gewe Tawa Di Kun Kyang Sampo Chuchu Rab Tung Wargi Dagi Jene Sape Gewa Di Tendan Dorwa Kun La Gampe Dan Kepa Jetsu Lozan Da Pai Tempeni boring to Selje Shog. Then 244 and 245 were the short, long life prayers. Gandhira we korwe shinkam de pendan dewa malu shunwene chere ziguan tenzin gyatsoi shape site bardu tengyu chi jonu iyan ala wang shotu Awadare Tsembara Sopa Lozan Gewe de Ton Le Persho Shasa Gengyo Lama Soade Tupsu Chanjin Jangen Gewe Tenzin Kyombewe Kunzer Dokportse Choksum Kudwele Mutudu Padok so duje kundu japten sho Om taritu re so ha 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 Om taritu re so ha.
Oh yeah, wonderful. Oh, thank you. Good night.